This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. NWC continues a crackdown on illegal connections in St. Elizabeth. The National Water Commission has disconnected several illegal connections to its systems in the Malvern area of St. Elizabeth as part of its ongoing crackdown on water theft. The NWC says that the exercise, which was carried out recently, was necessary due to the negative impact of illegal connections on the reliability of the water supply to legal customers. Jermaine Jackson, manager for the region, stressed that illegal connections to this major system is a long-standing issue that is adversely affecting the operations of the company. Not only is it theft of the commodity and the expected revenues, but also it significantly limits the system's ability to serve those it is meant to. This is evidenced by the fact that post-operation, there was significant improvement of 40% in pump operating hours, he explained. We continue to urge all persons who are illegally connected to our network to desist. In this case, it was farmers tapping into our lines, and we want this reckless and unconscionable act to stop. This is an offense punishable by law, he stated. The NWC is appealing to persons who are not legal customers to call 888-CALL-NWC or to contact the company for more information on regularizing their service. Mocha and the JCF asked to probe illegal land sale by Klansman gang in Bernard Lodge, Prime Minister Holness says. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency and the Jamaica Constabulary Force has been asked to conduct a probe into the illegal sale of land in the Greater Bernard Lodge development area, allegedly by the notorious Klansman gang. It was on those lands in proximity to Clifton, an informal community that is being regularized, that 10 incomplete structures were demolished last Thursday, following a warning by Holness in the House of Representatives. Among those affected by the demolition were members of the security forces and the civil servants. Following criticisms and the complaints from some of the affected people that they were not given notice to quit, and a statement from the opposition People's National Party that it will be providing legal support for the affected parties, Holness returned to the Parliament on Tuesday, where he sought to set the record straight while offering more details. Holness told the House that notices were placed in the area and the 2 meetings were held with the affected individuals by the landowner SCJ Holdings Limited. I could not say whether or not that was with persons from Clifton or persons from the other side, those whose unfinished buildings were torn down, said Holness. What is important is that all of this has to be investigated, and I have asked Mocha and the JCF to investigate this thing entirely because I want to know if there is any government official culpable or complicit, the Prime Minister added. I'm very reluctant in giving these kinds of specific details, especially when they're going to be investigated. It's not our job to investigate it in Parliament. We debate the issue, but we don't investigate it here. There are some issues that I really can't go into too much detail about, Holness said. Elderly accused the Bloods gangster wants a lawyer he can't afford. An alleged member of the Clarendon-based Bloods gang on Tuesday grudgingly accepted a court-assigned lawyer after prominent attorney Tom Tavares-Finson KC sought and received permission from the court to withdraw his services for non-payment. 64-year-old Franklin Miller is among 5 alleged members of the gang who are facing charges of illegal possession of firearm, murder, and robbery with aggravation before the Supreme Court Judge Justice Vinette Graham-Allen in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston. On Tuesday, during a case management hearing, which was mainly to settle representation for the various accused, prosecutors indicated that only 2 accused, Travis Hardy and Miller, did not have attorneys. Tavares-Finson had sought the court's permission to withdraw his services from Miller on the basis that he could not take instructions from him, as the individuals who had sought to retain him had yet to fulfill their commitment in respect of fees. The judge, in responding to the attorney, said, "Well, Mr. Finson, you know what the rules are. I think you were just helping out the accused because the rules are very clear. No lawyer is obliged to appear or put their name on the record if they are not fully paid. To the accused, she said, the rules say where you are arrested and charged for an offense and the lawyer says his fee is X, you have to pay the lawyer before he comes to court. He doesn't have to come to court. Say the lawyer says his fee is $10 and you pay him $2, the lawyer doesn't have to come to court until you pay the full $10. So you can't pay $2 and expect him to come to court. People on your behalf went to Mr. Finson to be your lawyer. Paid him something, but not even enough for him to talk to you, really. So he is asking the court for permission to withdraw. Lawyers doesn't work free. You can't go to doctor and don't pay. You must tell your people who are paying the lawyer that they must pay the lawyer his full fee, she said. In granting Finson's request, the judge who inquired of the accused whether he knew who was paying his legal fees was given a mouthful. I am 64 years old and I say my lawyer is Mr. Tom Tavares, and I really appreciate Mr. Tavares as my attorney. The thing is, I'm in custody a year and odd now, milady, and I have never seen a visitor. I have never spoken to any of my family. I am even growing luck since I am in here in this institution. I am just a patient since I am in this institution, he said, adding that he has to be taken to 2 hospitals at least twice monthly because of his high blood pressure. That's why the first thing I have to do is to make sure you have a lawyer. So the people who get in the lawyer not coming up with his fees at all, they not help you, the judge stated as she asked Miller whether he could afford a lawyer or not. I'm not getting an opportunity to speak to my loved one, the accused replied. Apparently the persons getting the lawyer cannot afford to pay Mr. Finson what he's asking. My question to you is, can you afford a lawyer? Do you want this court to get a lawyer for you? I want Mr. Tavares to be my lawyer, the accused man insisted. I am asking you, can you afford a lawyer? The answer is yes or no, the judge repeated. No, milady, Miller replied. Do you want the court to get you a lawyer? The judge probed further. No, milady, Miller replied. No, so who going to pay the lawyer for you? You heard what he said. The people who came to him don't pay him yet. So if you can't come up with the fees, how are you going to afford a lawyer? Justice Graham Allen queried. The judge informing Miller that she was going to grant Tavares-Finson's request to be released, again asked the accused whether he wanted the court to appoint him an attorney. Miller grudgingly capitulating, saying, yes, milady. On Tuesday, Hardy, who was also without representation, when asked whether he wanted the court to assign him an attorney, replied, yes, ma'am, let the court do what it has to do. Meanwhile, Alex Miller, who would have been the 6th accused, whose whereabouts had been uncertain last week and for whom a bench warrant had been issued, resurfaced on Tuesday. According to the police, Miller was taken into custody for violating the conditions of his bail. The judge reiterated that Miller should not be granted bail and should remain in custody until the end of the matter, in keeping with her orders last week. However, the whereabouts of the accused, Stephen Williams, who prosecutors last week said had been granted bail in the parish court prior to the matter being transferred to the Home Circuit Court, but took up his bail and disappeared, is still uncertain. A representative for the Crown said Tuesday the man for whom an official missing persons report had been logged had vanished into thin air. Williams, the court was told, is presumed dead. The prosecution in the meantime indicated that the case file is complete, save and except for a report from the Communication Forensics and Cybercrime Division. That report, the Crown was told, will not be ready before 60 days. The matter was subsequently adjourned to January 11, 2023. The prosecution is in the meantime to make disclosure of the material to the defense before that date. All 5 accused who appear via Zoom were ordered remanded. They are implicated in 10 murders committed in the Clarendon area that go as far back as 2017. Police conduct operation to restore order in Highgate, St. Mary. Several motorists had their license plate removed during a police operation in Highgate, St. Mary on Tuesday. The operation is part of an ongoing effort to restore order to the town. Highgate is one of several towns in St. Mary that have been grappling with congestion. In September, Mayor of Port Maria Richard Creary reiterated the call for steps to be taken to reduce the chaos in the town. A month later, the police have responded. Sergeant Christopher Ward, sub-officer in charge of the Highgate Police Division, said that the initiative is a multi-agency approach involving the Transport Authority and the motor vehicle examiners who are ensuring that vehicles are in good condition.
Today we had the motor vehicle examiner examining vehicles for mechanical, fault to ensure that those who are commuting or their vehicle must be in good condition. All right. Yesterday we had the Transport Authority in full numbers, so it's really a multi-agency approach to get this town under control. Not only that, but we pay attention to even the schoolers in the morning, the peak hours, getting them off to school in buses. So this is the approach going forward. The fact that the space is so commercialized, supermarkets, many trucks for delivery. So we are trying to regulate the truck situation in putting a designated area for trucks and filtering them in the town. So we send up 3 trucks, the rest is on hold, and we stuff like those. So at the end of the day, it's really the presence of the police that will make the difference here in Highgate.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.